Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. For this tutorial, we're gonna do a wedding cake that we did for an order a few weeks ago. And this cake featured some buttercream lace stenciling, some ruffle petal ruffling, some sugar flowers, and a little trick on that I figured out how to do accidentally on how to get your vibrant metallic on your fondant without using any alcohol. So let's get started. First, we're going to go ahead and roll out our gum paste for our roses. Now, I just showed you there about how thin I made it. You want to leave it almost thin enough to see through it. Like the pattern on the table underneath, you kind of want to be able to see that. Just because otherwise it gets a little too thick and they don't look as realistic. Then I'm using my ball tool to ruffle those edges, and I'm using a styrofoam center. This is a little cheat. You can make your center out of gum paste or fondant, whatever you prefer to work with, but that adds extra weight and basically overnight drying time. So I like to start with the foam center because let's be honest, nobody's eating these. They're pretty. You could eat them, but I wouldn't suggest it. Most sugar flowers have some kind of a center or a wire in them. So just make sure you're telling your customers that yes, they're technically edible, but there's non-edible elements in them also. And then to make the rest of the petals, I just went ahead and used some circle cutters because the inspiration picture that I had was a little bit more of an open rose than I typically do. So I thought I would just use these circle cutters and soften those edges. It was really more of a tighter center and more open outside petals. And they're overlapped petals on that inspiration photo. So just sometimes you just need to use your experience and your knowledge and figure out a way to make them a little different. More of kind of like a fantasy rose instead of a realistic looking rose. And then I just lined them up one on top of the other in a slight arch pattern for my outside rose and just rolled it around the center. And it was so easy. So easy. I might do this more often. And I just use water as a glue. You can make a gum glue by adding a little bit of gum paste to some water and letting it dissolve in there. But honestly, I think water works just as well. And then I'm just kind of arranging the petals the way I want them. This was obviously slowed down. My hands don't move that slow all the time. So we're just going to lay them where we want them. And these would take, since I didn't do the flexible gum paste on this, I used what my boss gave me to use, purchased because of time constraints or whatnot. It will take overnight to dry. And to make these petal ruffles, I am just rolling out my fondant mixed with a little bit of Tylose in it and one of the smaller 5-petal cutters. And then we're just going to cut out 50,000 of these. It honestly takes a whole lot. This is not a quick design to do. This took me probably 2 days off and on of working on just the petals to get them all done. And then cover them up so they don't dry out too much with a little bit of saran wrap. And then I'm just kind of bunching them together. I put a little bit of water in the center and then just bunch them up together and put them in some kind of a flower former so that they keep their shape. And if they don't keep a perfect pattern to them, that's okay. Don't worry about it because they're going to be scrunched in together so tight, you're not going to know. All you're going to see is the overall look of this kind of ruffled pattern. I have seen people do this with just circle cutters. I've seen them do that with square cutters. There's a bunch of different ways to do this, but like I said, we're going off of an inspiration photo, and to me, this is what they did. So let's speed through these. They're all the same, all made the same. And now we're going to make the leaves. I'm just using this plunger cutter because it already has the veins in it, so that makes things a little easier. And I'm using the same, actually I used gum paste for this. Just cut them all out and put them on another flower former of some kind. I like these, this is for your bedding, the pads that you get for bedding to make it a little softer, but obviously never been used for that. So I'm just using it for my flower formers. And I'm using some petal dust, just some light pink. It's actually like a, what do you call it? A dusty rose kind of color, almost blush dusty rose. And I'm just dry brushing it into the centers of all my flowers. I had 3 flowers. And then once I get them dusted, I'm going to go ahead and use my steamer, my clothing steamer, just to set that color in there, and it just kind of removes the dusty part and it kind of deepens the color a little bit as they dry. And here's the trick, guys, for the leaves. Silver luster dust, just silver luster dust, dry, dusted on. I just used a fluffy brush, a smaller fluffy brush, and dusted it on. Doesn't look like there's a whole lot of coverage, but wait till you see what happens when we do this. Look at this. Watch, it's like magic. All of a sudden we have metallic. That's it. There's no mixing with Everclear or vodka or lemon extract, nothing. And that's what we got. I'm sold. Keep doing that. And let those dry. And this is how I stack my boards. I've talked about doing double boards on, or double drums on our larger cakes. And this is all I do, is I just take 2 of them. I use my hot glue gun and I just glue them together. It happens so quick. And I always like to wrap a ribbon around the bottom, you know, the outside edge there, to hide that it's doubled up. And then we're going to go ahead and frost all of our cakes. The top and the bottom were blush, very light blush pink. And the middle were white, I believe. We'll get to that in a second here. But all my cakes were already filled and crumb coated and chilled. That just, you know, I could show you all those stages all the time, but videos would be so long. I throw that in every once in a while just to show you that I'm still doing that. We just don't need to see it every single time. I have lots of videos where I'm showing you how I fill and crumb coat my cakes. Now, if you need to, keep in mind, if you're having trouble with your buttercream, we're having a change of season right now. So we're kind of wrestling with our buttercream at the bakery because the water content needs to change. And there's that in-between stage where that 1 week when you didn't realize that the temperature was changing and you're going to have to adjust your water content again. And you struggle with the buttercream because it's already made. That was my week this week. Ugh, so frustrating. Anyways, we'll get it next week. And here I'm showing you my stencil. I didn't want the whole stencil, so I just used some tape and taped off the part of the pattern I did not want. Now, when you do a buttercream stencil, make sure that your tier is chilled. Put it in your freezer for about 20 minutes before you even attempt to do this, because your stencil is going to ruin your buttercream if you don't make sure that it is properly chilled. And then remove the stencil right away once you remove the bulk of the buttercream off the outside of the stencil. Chill it in between each one. I put it back in the refrigerator and let that first row of lace chill, and then do your next one. And now I'm just stacking them away. I guess apparently I didn't want to show you how I buttercreamed the middle 2 tiers because you saw me do the bottom. And here, lost footage alert, always happens. I just attached these with buttercream. Put a little buttercream on the back of them and attach them to the cake. Since these have set up, they're going to hold their shape. Sorry, this is kind of a vital part. Here you can see I am adding some at the very end. That in between footage, I don't know where it is. I have no idea. Like I said last video, I kind of tried to clear out some of my hard drives, and I think I accidentally got rid of some footage I didn't mean to. That's why I don't like to get rid of my footage. That's why I hold on to everything typically, because you never know when you're... there's so much footage, it's easy to accidentally lose it. That was a nice face I just gave you. Don't look at me, look at the cake. So anyway, yeah, this is how we're just adding them all in there. And then I'm adding the top tier. There are dowels in between each row, or each layer of cake, or each tier. Let me say that right. There are dowels, and they're all cut to the same height, and then I add some buttercream before I add my next tier. And here I am going to get to show you how I'm adding those petals onto the top. This kind of had more of a kind of, what do we call it? Cascading effect from the top down. I really like that. I thought this gave it, this design, a little bit extra something. And I did make some smaller bunches of ruffles for the tips of this. Nah, it probably wasn't necessary, but you know, I like to go that extra little effort there. And I did put a ribbon around the bottom there. I just attached it with some buttercream at the back. I didn't fill up the whole top because I didn't know if they were going to have a topper or flowers for the top at the venue. So I just didn't even bother so that they had some room to add what they wanted. I did know that they were willing to pay for 3 of the roses, but they were going to add some of their own. So here's the finished product on my end. I did not receive pictures of the finished product, but I think I got some pretty good pictures. I hope you liked it. I hope you got something from it. Please take the time to like, subscribe, share. Let's get me to 200K. That would be really cool. And we'll catch you on the next one.